Hey guys, it's James here, and today is going to be a bit more of a vloggy type post, looking at some of my race distances in the past and looking at my current PBs for all these distances. This is mainly for me to look back on in the future, and to see where I was at this point and to see the progress that I hopefully make as my training goes on. So we are at the end of April 2020, and let's start from the top. We'll start from the shortest distance and we'll go right through to the longest distance that I've run so far. Let's jump right in at the sharp end of the scale, which is the 1 kilometre. So my current PB for 1 kilometre is 3 minutes and 52 seconds. I ran this PB very recently, just a week or two ago. That's the first time I've really tried to push that high end speed and maintain that over a kilometre for quite a while. I do some speed intervals, some short distances, some 400, some 800 repeats, but pushing that distance a little bit longer and holding on to that speed endurance for a kilometre is really tough. I do think I've still got some speed to come. I did used to be a sprinter for a couple of years, so I can excel over the shorter distances. I just need to work on holding that speed for a little bit longer and keeping my form nice and strong and nice and fluid when I do start to get tired. So I've been doing some shorter speed work, and I've been doing some strength and conditioning work as well on my legs and on my core to really make sure I'm strong and I'm resilient for these shorter efforts. The next distance is my mile time. My fastest mile currently stands at 7 minutes and 38 seconds. Again, this is fairly recent. I think I clocked this during a speed training session with the club a couple of months ago. But with my 1 kilometre, it's going to be the same, speed work, strength work. And I think the kilometre and the mile time will come down fairly quickly as I concentrate on that high-end tempo work. So the next big distance, and the one that I race the most, I would probably say, it would be the 5k. So my current 5k PB is 24 minutes and 30 seconds. The 5k has been a real battle for me. It's the first race I did when I first started running. I have been running for nearly 5 years now, on and off, but I've had lots of injuries. So my training has been quite staggered. I've had good periods and then long periods of 4 or 5 months where I've been dealing with an injury. Once I got under 30 minutes for the 5k, the obvious next goal was sub 25 minutes, and this was a big struggle for me for a good 2 or 3 years. There were quite a few times where I got really close. I was under 26 minutes and then I would pick up an injury because I was just pushing too hard. But thankfully over this past year I have been getting stronger and I have been training more regularly, and I've broken 25 minutes on 3 occasions now, and I know that that's there in the bank if I really push. I would like to get faster over 5k. It's not a distance I've been concentrating on massively at the moment. I've been looking at the longer stuff, but ideally I would like my 5k time to be down to around 23 minutes by the end of the year, which I think is a good goal, but also reasonable in terms of the training I've been doing and the training I will get in. So the next distance that I do race is the 10k, and it's the next obvious leap up from the 5k. My current PB for this is about 55 minutes, roughly. I say roughly because I don't have many timed all-out efforts at 10k. I have run lots of 10k's, but these have been either obstacle races, which obviously don't lend themselves to a PB, or they've been, nice scenic races with friends or family, where I've just been kind of plodding along and enjoying the scenery. I haven't given the 10k an all-out effort more than 2 or 3 times, but again, in longer runs and training sessions, the top end of my 10k time does seem to be about that 55-minute time. I know I could probably run a faster one if I gave it an all-out effort, so I'm hoping to enter a 10k race at some point this year, if races do start going ahead. And I'm hoping to get around 50 minutes for a 10k by the end of the year, which again I think is reasonable, but enough of a challenge to really motivate me on. The 10 to 15k distance is what I was really focusing on this year. I had lots of races planned that were in that range, anywhere from 10k up to half marathon distance, so I was really trying to build that strength and that endurance over that distance and then get some speed work in later down the line. Obviously a lot of my races have been cancelled now, so I'll talk at the end about how I'm refocusing my training and moving forward from that. The last distance that I'm going to talk about is my half marathon distance. This one is fairly new to me. I've only technically ran 2 half marathons in total, although I have done some longer run/walks that would meet that requirement as well. I've technically done 1 trail half marathon official race, and the time for that was over 3 hours. That race was really warm on the day, and I was undertrained as well, so I ended up getting cramp and walking the whole last 4 or 5 kilometres. I have recently ran another half marathon, and that is my current PB, and that is 2 hours and 23 minutes. This again was on trail with a few hills and things, but I felt so much better than my official race and knocked like 40 minutes off my time. So ideally I would like to get stronger again over half marathon distance, because I'd like to move up in distance as the years go on. I'd be aiming towards somewhere around the 2 hours 10 mark by the end of the year for my half marathon, but ideally I would like to be sub 2 hours, which I think is reasonable on a good day and on the right course. So as I said earlier, I was training for obstacle races mainly in the year, over the 10-15 kilometre distance, and then towards the end of the year I had some half marathons and half marathon distance races booked. Those races might still go ahead at the end of the year, so I am still training roughly for distance, but having this time to myself and not having a race come up in the next month or 2 at least has given me time to really strip back my training and work on the basics. One thing I'm terrible for when I'm training is never building up my base mileage. I always get carried away coming back from an injury, and I try and do loads of speed work, loads of hill sessions in intervals, and I tend to hurt myself again. So right now I'm trying to just run steadily 3 times a week, and I'm doing 1 long, slow, easy run, at least 1 speed session, and then just kind of a gentle recovery run in the middle of those. I'm finding this is working at the moment, and I am feeling stronger. So I'm hoping that if I can build that base, then when it comes back to racing, I should be faster, I should be fitter, and I should be more resilient over all distances. I'll keep you up to date with my training, and I'll let you know if I do have any races that go ahead, how they've gone. So that's all for now, just a short update for today, and just something to look back on in future. As always, keep moving forward, and I'll see you out on the trails.